You know, for years, I've been telling you guys not to take no for an answer. To keep pushing. To keep trading until you get the players that you want to get. What the fuck do I know? I haven't won a goddamn chip in 10 years. In my own fucking league. I've only sniffed second place. I've tried to fight my way to a chip 10 fucking years. I've drafted well. I've cheated, allegedly. I've watched the podcast. I've made the trades, the start-sit decisions. And where the fuck has that gotten me? I'm 1-2. My team blows ass. That cocksucker Max is better than me. He knows nothing about football and he has 2 fucking wins. It's disgusting. Bailouts, bribes, allegations. We've seen it all in this league. We've seen it all. That's it. I'm fucking over this. I'm over this fucking thing. This deal, this fucking deal that I'm about to sign, barring me from fantasy football, barring me from my own fucking league, my home. The fuck is that? I'll tell you what it is. It's me being a hypocrite. It's me taking the fucking easy way out. It's me quitting on you, not the other fucking way around. Fuck it. You know what? I'm not leaving. I ain't fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on! This is my home. They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to get me out of this place. They're gonna need to send in the National Guard, the fucking SWAT team. Cause I ain't going nowhere! Fuck you!
Taking battle stations, I ain't on vacation. I'm just glowing up, living out aspirations. I beat the expectations and change the generations. And I'm still jumping fences, and you're just imitations. They're all in second places, but I don't live for praises. I play this life like a game, levels and stages. Let me paraphrases, then do a couple pages. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Let me introduce you to a brand new thing. No one gonna prove to. You're looking at the king. This life may choose you, so raise your wings. Watch this, watch this, watch this. This is a brand new thing. They've been calling me mad for 20 years, but it takes a little crazy when you face some fears.
Episode 4, Dynastangy podcast. We got Amelia watching. We're recapping week 3. We're looking ahead to week 4. What a week, what a week, what a week. Shit teams came back strong. The good teams took a dive. Some of them, of course. Ah, man. Right off the bat, too. I mean, this league this year has been incredibly boring. We've had no trades. A couple bench trades, but just nothing that gets the blood flowing, if you know what I'm saying. And I just don't really get it. Usually this time this year, we'd have at least 6 to 8 trades. And I feel like we're losing our touch, Dynastangy. We're losing our touch. We're getting soft. I don't like it. So we're going to need to see something happen this week. I'm a call to action to everybody watching this to start sending some feelers out. We need to get trades rolling. We need content. We need content for the chat. I mean, the second anyone makes a trade, it's going to be an easy 1,000 messages. And I haven't yet looked at the message count for this week versus last week, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be lower. So right off the bat, as we said before, no news, no notes really. We'll recap the week a little bit. Ben, absolute disaster of a week, got dominated by James. I mean, like, Sean didn't even score 80 points. Imagine not even scoring 88 points. That is a travesty. Oh, what a fucking scrub team he's got. James has been rocking a full chub all week after this freaking game. You hate to see it. But other than that, I'll just give a shout out here to the teams. We're 2-1 and 1-2, and this is one of the weirdest weeks we've ever had because there is not a clear playoff contender yet. There just isn't. So I think, the skies are looking real blue for all of us at Dynastangy. And though some of you, including me, are 1-2, that could easily switch. And in 3 weeks, you might be 4-2, 3-2, whatever. And yeah, those 2-1 teams, that might be the last win they're sniffing for a couple weeks. So right off the bat, I think that's about it. Nothing crazy. Man, we have a great segment to share with you boys once the trade happens. So get on to it. And we will pass over to our boy Jay Frey for the stats. Kia!
Thank you, Matt. We will start off this week's Anal-itics with the median alt standings. The lack of the median is butt-fucking Matt and Ryan both by 1 position. Andy is up 5 rankings by not having a median. The lack of median is also screwing Sean by 2 spots. The lack of median is butt-fucking John by 1 position, causing him just to miss the playoffs if they started this week. Eric, the racist, has also gained 2 spots by not having the median, claiming that the median is firmly anti-racist. Now we have the chatty Cathys of the group. The winner this week, myself, where I increased by 100% chatting, hitting up to about 500 messages. Ben had 411 messages in week 2 and only 43 in week 3, which was a 90% dip in chatting. Now, if we were to take all these quiet people in the group together, add them up, even their totals for the whole season, they would still not come close to the amount that I personally have put into chat this past week. Here we have our bottom of the barrel performers if you averaged all their points through this season and divided them up by the games played. This is an overall list that you just do not want to be a part of, people. So my recommendations, Donnie, Matt, you guys are right on the edge. The Erics, right on your heels. Sean, yeah, that's right. Andy, your luck is not reflected in this chart for you. And as for the best performers, Scott, still on top. Casey, Max, me, Ben, John. These are probably the real powerhouses of the league. I don't care what Matt's power rankings say. Stats do not lie. Here's where we lie. It was brought to my attention that last week I may have not been the most astute while reading my analytics. It turns out we have 1 Native American in here. So we are, in fact, people more diverse than what we thought we were. Granted, we didn't gain any, but we will still keep tracking throughout the season. The blowing dudes out. Top 3 from each week. I finally find myself on this list, blowing out Ben with 42 points over him. And on the flip side, you hate to see it, going from blowing to getting blown. Ben, you coming or going? Taking or leaving? In or out? You get figured out. The broke bitches coming on through. A lot of names have changed on this since the last waivers. Ryan, $4 to your name. Hopefully you don't have to hit up the waivers for much more this season. I'm really surprised Sean still has $12 and Casey with 24. That can probably get you through the rest of the year. Andy with 40. Liking where you're sitting there, bud. Matt, you're walking a fine line. And for our week 3 luck ratings, Max, lucky son bitch. Andy, season lucky horseshoe, aka member up the ass. Number 2, anti-racist Eric, Casey, and myself all got a little bit of luck rolling this week. Ryan and Ben, you netted out 0. Everyone else, you got unlucky, but John, oof. Feel bad for you, bud. And we'll keep that feeling bad rolling right on over as we look at the season luck. John, you are still on bottom. Being on the left side of this chart is not where you want to be. You want to have the luck on your side. And unfortunately, as you can see by this chart, Andy is dominating all of the luck in the league. Maybe he'll share it with the rest of us at some other point in time. Moo, our beefcake ratings. We had a little bit of a shakeup here. Scott and Ryan, you jumped up the chart quite a bit. Now, Scott, you have the fattest team in the league. Max, you are still on bottom with the skinny bitches. You know, I don't know. Winter's coming up pretty soon here, Max. That fall weight, they're going to need to put on some pounds to be able to make it through this winter. And, you know, Scott's on top. His team's looking pretty good. Maybe got to tack on some LBs to keep yourself up in the chase. The bad boys. We had a couple ads, couple drops. Sean, you are still ranked number 1 with the bad boys. We got Elvin Kamara with battery charges. Then Ben, we have Michael Pittman with the domestic violence. Then we got some other names on here that we probably saw last week. Eric, KKK, Mike Williams with the Dewey. Scott, Jerry Judy with the tampering. Still a little sus on your part. Why you haven't dropped them kind of reflects on you. Anti-racist Eric with a Dewey from his kicker. That seems like a replaceable person you could probably swap out. Max, Aaron Jones with Dewey, but now added drug charges apparently to their offense. Don't know what's happening there. And John, as always, speed limits are bullshit. Here we go with the bets, the gambling, the hot stuff that actually means something at the end of the season instead of just chasing those rings in the playoff spots. The bet of Scott and Sean is not tracking that well. These points over on the side here are adding up, and it definitely looks like the London, Pollard, Judy side is definitely scoring more points than the Monty Pitts and Ayuk side. So, a lot of season left to be played. Let's see how those results change. Now, we have the fresh bet of Sean and myself, thinking that Gallup and Hopkins will have more cumulative points over my Juju and Dobbins. This is his way of trying to justify the trade rape that he tried doing, but I'm smarter than that, and the analytics will reflect that at some point too. Here we have their points as of current. I think what we'll do though is we will start fresh and we will reset them so that way we get from a starting point from week 4 moving on through the rest of the season, and then Sean can pay me my $20 just based off of facts, logic, and analytics, baby. And that's all we have for this week's analytics. Matt, back to you. What will the final scores be? Into the future he tries to see, but who will know if he's wrong or right? Predictions with Matty, ice him.
Oh, my fucking butthole, boys. It's predictions of Matty Ice. And boy, was I off last week. I went 1 for 6. That is despicable. And I have been losing all of my bets on my sports book. This year has been an absolute disaster for your boy. On the year, I'm 38.888%, which is basically 39%, which is really only 11% under 500. So if you ask me, I'd say I'm doing okay. And I feel like this week, I like my chances to make a comeback. I really, really do. So let's get started. Week 4, we have the first matchup. We always start with James's matchup because we're on his computer looking at the matchups. So he always gets first crack at seeing where he's going to land. And it's a fucking doozy. We've got fucking James versus fucking Eric. And these two boys, let me tell you what. You got a good team and you got a shit team. Eric's team is an absolute disaster this year. Kirk Cousins blows. Christian McCaffrey not living up to potential, just like me. Sorry, Mom. Look, Michael Carter, he's fine. But James has got Josh Allen. He's got fucking AJ Brown. It's just a good team. And Eric, you've heard it before, and I'll say it again. Mark Andrews is clearly a stud, but I hate him. I hate Mark Andrews. It might be because... Is Mark Andrews black? Okay. Nope. I definitely like him. So, with that being said, I like some action here. I'm going with the dog, the home dog, Eric. You'll thank me later. We got your boy, Matty Ice, matchup 2. We got me. We've got Eric. Eric, change your name. You cannot spell it with a C anymore. You lost the naming rights bowl of 2022. Unfortunate, but hey, it's the way it works. We will be looking for a copy of your birth certificate and a license or something to make sure that's proven.
Week 14, he has a redemption week.
Okay, week 14 redemption week, and then maybe, yeah, okay, that's fair. Week 14 redemption week, you got time. Start fucking studying those fucking sleepers, bruh. Here's the deal. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I voted for you twice in a row, and both times you fucked me. And once you fuck me once, I'm not going to let you fuck me again. And you haven't taken me out for dinner. And for those reasons, I'm voting for myself to get a comeback victory here. 2-2. I feel like my team sucks, but not that bad. So eat shit, Eric. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. We got Andy. And we got the 2-time. Now, Andy has been riding some absolute luck in this league. Top lucky player in the league. He's 2-1. He really should be 0-3, honestly. But that's for another time. At the end of the day, Andy's team, he's got some young players on it that need to pop off. Chris Olave, shit like that. Elijah Moore. And Max has got a good team. It's solid. He's got Patty Mahomes. He's got Aaron Jones. He's got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's got Devontae Adams. Now, here's what I don't like. Devontae Adams on the Vegas Raiders has not lived up to the hype of him on the Packers. And I think that continues. On the flip side, I do like, and I still like, Courtland Sutton. And I think Eckler will have a bounce back game this week. So for those reasons, I'm going to keep going with the luck here. And I'm going to pick Andy to get the dub. Max, eat my butthole. You piece of shit. You know nothing about fantasy football, but I love you, I love you, I love you. Fourth matchup, week 4. These Zevias are money. We've got Sean versus Green Bay Sweetheart. JBay1001, lifelong Bengals fan. Now, a little birdie told me that John Amoa absolutely despises Sean, but he puts up with him. And I feel like there's a hate week coming in. John's team has been very steady this year, and I don't know if he has any injuries, and I really don't care. Sean's if your team can't put up 88 points in a week, I would consider that a bottom tier team. If you go above 88, you are clearly a good team. You're stable. Everything's good. Here's what I like about Sean's team. 2019, absolute busted team. Great. 2022, too many injuries. And the players that have name value aren't as good as they used to be. John, on the other hand, has absolute studs like Alan Lazard and Dawson Knox. And for those reasons, I'm going John Amoa to get a dub here and take charge and go 3-1. Respect John Amoa. Respect John Amoa this year. That's all I'm going to say. It's a good team. Even though you fucked us on the first podcast, when I see a spade, I call it a spade or something. Matchup 5. We've got 2-1 teams. Ben versus Casey. These are both good fucking teams. Ben right now is not favored to win. But I think if DeAndre Swift is not playing and he can just throw in his boy and he gets Khalil Herbert off the waivers, which I'm thinking he might, his team is still really good. And Casey's team is obviously very good. It started strong. He's strong in all positions but running back, in my opinion. Still, as a man of honor, I will admit I was wrong about Casey's team. So far, his running back's been putting up enough points to get him the win, and that's really all that matters. So, when looking at this matchup, I don't like Amari Cooper to have another 20-point game. And I really don't think his running backs are going to give him a whole lot of points. I think Casey probably scores about $110, $108. I don't think that gets him the dub. Ben, on the other hand, bounce back week, and I'd like to see that as a dub. So, Beej, congrats on your 3-1. Week 4, matchup 6. It's the last matchup. Math is hard. We've got Doan Bone, Baylor Extraordinaire against Icebox 31, aka Saltbox. And let me just say, this matchup is going to be spicy. I do think Scott's team is pretty fucking good. I do also think he's been kind of getting carried a little bit by Lamar Jackson. And I just don't see him just continuing to put up 40-point weeks. I think at some point the running backs are going to get theirs. He's going to lose his rushing touchdowns. I see a little bit of a regression, but I don't see enough of a regression for Scott to lose. And for those reasons, I'm going to say that Scott gets the dub. Donnie, I'm sorry. I love you. You're my boy. Hopefully that hangover you were nursing on Sunday is doing better. And yeah, sorry about it, but you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Snip, snip, snip. Snip, snip, snip.
This is a certified hood classic.
Hey, yo, Matt.
Yo, what's good?
I don't think they know where they stand,
Yeah, well, fuck them.
but they about to know.
Okay.
Dynastangy, where you at?
Uh-huh.
Atlanta, Appleton,
Lego.
or wherever the hell else you're from. Dynastangy gang. Shit,
Let's go.
Here come the motherfucking rankings. Y'all scrubs appear to be tanking.
Tank?
He got mad stacks of stats to make sure he's only spewing dope facts.
Dope
Some
facts.
of y'all ain't gonna like it.
Fuck
but
'em.
there's no bribe money in his pocket.
Nice.
Providing the league with a service worth thanking. Fuck, it's homie Matty Ice with the power rankings.
I love rankings. I love rankings. I love rankings. I love rankings. Totally unbiased rankings. Yeah. Power rankings. And let me just say, I've changed a whole lot of shit this week. Some people are going to be mad. Some people are going to be happy. Obviously, this is just my opinion. No babies or animals were hurt in the making of this film, except for a little thing called a Bengal. Sean, coming in at rank 12. I'm telling you, the team looks good on paper, but it's name value. It's name value. He needs a fucking quarterback that can put up consistent points. He's just fallen behind. Guys like Kamara, they feel like studs, but they're just not studs. And I don't think they will be rest of the season. Sadly, I think we're hitting the point where these name values look so good, like a LaShawn McCoy when he was 30 or something, where it's like, yeah, he's good. He's really good, but it's just not a stud. I think a guy like Michael Thomas can be touchdown dependent. And I just don't think that you got the team that you want. So you're ranked 12. Coming in at the old uno, that's 11 for you Spanish friends. I'm talking racism. I'm talking absolute disaster of a team. It's Eric KKK Tequila. And look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I didn't like your draft. I feel like you have too many okay players that you have to start every single week. Not enough studs. And it's as simple as that. Your team's decent, but when you look at the analytics, when you look at the rankings, in a median format, your last place, it is what it is. So you're rank 11, and I think if we can see some of your boys start to perform a little bit more, I'm happy to move you up to like rank 9.
Walk the plank, mate.
Rank 10. That's 9 more than rank 1 if you add them together. Andy Armstrong. Fuck, man. In the bottom 10. Sean and Andy. I don't want to see that shit, dude. But at the same time, if the playoffs started, man, your teams, they just suck too bad. Andy, Wilson, you have the same problem Sean has. Your quarterback fucking sucks for fantasy. And you're losing out on like 15 points a week. Every week. If you just had a better quarterback, your team would be great. I like a lot of your players. I think Daryl Mooney fucking sucks. You can basically drop him at this point. If Olave pops, if Cortland Sutton continues to ball out, I think your team has a ton of room to grow. You're 2-1, obviously, in my opinion, very lucky 2-1. Probably more likely an 0-3 team if you really look at it. But who am I to judge? Rank 10, tons of room to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's you, Eric, with a C. Your team's okay. Your wide receivers kind of low. Your running backs are fine. I think Derrick Henry's kind of be falling off the cliff this year. He'll have good games, he'll have bad games. Like Zeke last year, the name recognition, very, very high. Performance, we're waiting to see. A lot of room to grow. I still think like Keenan Allen, just gonna be banged up all year. It's a name recognition team, but it's not a team that I think is gonna go very far. Donny, rank 8. Now look, your team on paper is a lot better. And clearly CeeDee Lamb can still score points with Cooper Rush. And you've made it through 2 weeks now, which means you're almost a third of the way through what you need out of those players to get Dak back. Here's the big thing. And here's why I think you have a ton of room to move up. Devonta Smith has balled out 2 weeks in a row. He's gotten a lot of targets, and Jalen Hurts is an elite QB, potential dark horse MVP candidate. The Eagles are very good. Fuck you, Sean. Dalvin Cook is hurt, though, and that does hurt you a lot because he's your best running back. And Connor is probably going to be a little banged up this year as well. That's just how running backs operate, and you don't have the handcuffs. For those reasons, I think you'll have some inconsistent weeks. I don't think CeeDee Lamb is a wide receiver 1. I think he will be a high wide receiver 2. And Devonta Smith, though I do like him, I don't think it'll be stable all year. Though I could be wrong, I think Devonta Smith is another good wide receiver 2. Without having big studs, I don't think your team can make it into the playoffs. And for those reasons, you're rank 8. But I love you. Smooches. Controversial over here. People might call me a fucking idiot for this one. They might say, Matt, are you on the spectrum? And I'll say, depends on what I'm smoking. Max, rank 7. Now, I had you pretty high last week. But when I started doing some digging, Clyde Edwards-Helaire just doesn't get the timeshare that I would want out of my RB2. I think it's just it's like you just don't have the nuts on your team, like the big meaty clackers in the interior that you need. Also, your team weighs like nothing. So you're going to be obviously banged up a lot because your players are small and they can't take hits. For those reasons, I'm putting you at 7, and I'd like to see a little bit more out of Clyde Edwards-Helaire and your wide receiver too, because I don't think that Devontae Adams will end the season as a top 3 wide receiver, though you drafted him like that. I think he's going to have a lot of boom and busty weeks, and honestly, I love busty. I love busty. And I love boom. But I don't like it on my fantasy football players. So for that reason, you're ranked 7. Coming in at 6, this dude has a fetish for khakis and drawing in CAD programs. That's right, James the producer Freilich. I brought this guy up from his bootstraps back in 19, got him in the league, told him about the fucking podcasts. Next thing you know, we're producing the game. Look, it's a good team. Josh Allen, A.J. Brown. Those are 2 staple, absolute studs in this league. I don't know who your running backs are. I've been informed he has Jonathan Taylor. I've also known from my vast fantasy football knowledge that he is a very good fantasy football player. For those reasons, you have a very good base. You have a good quarterback. You have a good wide receiver 1, and you have a good running back. You're a top 6, you're a playoff team. That's just how it works. If you have studs in all 3 of those positions, you're probably going to go to the playoffs. We've seen it 1,000 times. Hurts so good. Rank 5. It's your boy, Matty Ice. Look, I love my team, but it's not performing as well as I want. But I do think a guy like A.J. Dillon's going to really turn it on in the back half of the season. I love Najee. And I do think that though my bench looks like shit, it will be valuable in about 3 to 4 weeks. Try years. Bro, Penny's going to get injured within the next 2 weeks, like he always does. And Devin Singletary will eventually get out-snapped or snap shared with Cook. And when Cook gets as many snaps as Devin Singletary, his raw athleticism and big juicy manpower will carry him into a solid weekly flex. Also, Darrell Henderson, still really fucking good. I don't care that Cam Akers got more touches last week. Same snap count. Rank 5, I love my team. Jalen Hurts, MVP. Najee, going to make a play back. A.J. Dillon, everyone loves A.J. Dillon. And my wide receivers, in my opinion, I have the best 3 wide receivers all in. Rank 4, look, sometimes, you know what they say, ball don't lie. Ball is life. Numbers don't lie. John, your team's solid. You've been very consistent, very stable. You're 2-1. In my opinion, you should be 3-0. Look, sometimes you have a little bit of bad luck. Your team is just solid. And you're going to win a lot of games, and you'll go to the playoffs. And I think you have depth. And for those reasons, I'm going to throw you in at number 4, and I'm going to see where we go. Rank 3, look. As I said before, numbers don't lie. Casey's team has been solid this year. He's winning. I said his running backs blow. I still believe it. But like at ETN, he has room to grow. Devin Singletary's been playing solid. I mean, he had 1 good game, but sometimes that's all you need. Look, what do I actually think? I think we're going to see some Stephon Diggs regression. I really don't think that your team is going to be stably putting up week-winning numbers every week. It's only week 3, but I don't know. I shouldn't be negging your team. You're rank 3 on my power rankings. You obviously have a good team, and we'll see where it goes. Maybe I'm just a little butthurt because I got lost last week, but you know what? If you're the host, you get to have bias. Rank 2. Sorry, Scott. I'm a cop. And I'm putting you under arrest for having a shitty fucking fantasy football team. Just kidding. It's amazing. Rank 2. It's a good team. Nice trade early on. Now look, here's why I have you at rank 2 instead of rank 1. I don't know if I trust Antonio Gibson and Drake London rest of the year. I really feel like Pitts has got to start getting some points. And I don't know, your team feels like everything just kind of clicked and everything's kind of working the way you want it to. I think Justin Jefferson, a little bit of regression this year with Irv Smith on the team. I don't know. You obviously have a really good team. You got a little bit of depth, top heavy, but you know what? Rank 2, most average points in the year so far. Respect the game. 2-1. Rank 2. Look, here's the thing, Scott. Before I let off on this one, I just thought of something. You got the lowest points against. Remind you of anyone from years in the past? I'll give you a hint. Team 10. You were talking shit to Mitch all year. Well, you got the most points for, too. So, not the same. And we got Benihana. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Rank 1. Look, Ben's injuries are not season long. They're 1 week. He has depth. He's going to get backups. And he just has the most well-rounded team, in my opinion. I think like a guy like DeAndre Swift is going to finish so high. He's got his backup. And Jamal Williams is money. And look, he's got 3 good wide receivers, 3 good running backs, Dak Prescott when he gets healthy, Aaron Rodgers, some depth. He's got Ayuk on the bench. He's got Pitts. It's a very, very good team. He doesn't have a weak spot on his team at all. And in my opinion, barring a little bit of injury unluckiness that will go away soon, you got the team to beat. Congrats on rank 1. And let me just say, I wish I would have made the trade that we proposed earlier this year. You know what I'm talking about. That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. So,
Were you trade teams?
Yeah.
He just flopped all teams.
I've been informed that people may not know what that is. Me and Ben considered flipping teams. Like I would get his and he would get mine. And I really couldn't do it because I didn't want to lose on the back of me giving away a winning team. And I did that on knowing that my roster was worse. So shout out me for not tanking the league and fucking the league up like some people I know who took the bailout. And also let me just say this. Good week, crazy week, super low scoring across the board. I read a stat that like on average points are down about 20 per team this year in fantasy football, which is just absolutely bonkers. And we have an extra fucking slot. So we should be scoring a lot more points. I think we're going to see some high scoring points this week. I really do. So let's fucking get it, boys. Week 4. Let's see some dubs. Let's see some epic losses, some fucking close ones. I'm your host, Matty Ice. Have a good week. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. Peace. I've been working on not allowing fantasy football to dictate my emotions this year. Oh man. All right. No, my bench is full of potential. Dude, no, seriously, I'm not kidding you. My bench is full of potential.
Yes.
James Cook and
So is Sean's bench once he ditches a couple wheelchairs.
No, it's seriously. My bench is full of potential. We really got to work on getting this stuff pre-done. It's not hard. CeeDee Lamb's fucking trash.